Don't you love an extra $100 in your pocket? Have a TurboTax expert file your taxes for you by March 31st to get $100 back instantly. Because no matter what moves you made last year, TurboTax makes them count. That means getting $100 back and 100% accurate taxes, only from Intuit TurboTax. Must file by 3/31. Credit only applicable to federal filing fees with TurboTax full service. Offer can be modified or terminated at any time.
Hey guys, time to get in on the action for the biggest moments in basketball with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections, place your entry, and win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use the code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
We all have a to-do list. Here's an idea. Save hundreds of dollars on car insurance on your to-do list. And the good thing is you don't have to drop off or pick up anything. All you have to do is go to Geico.com. In just 15 minutes, you could save 15% or more on car insurance. This company, Geico, who's been with Spike's Car Radio for the longest time, has been offering great rates and great service for over 75 years. And anytime you need help, you can speak to one of their trained specialists 24/7. The company is Geico. Go to Geico.com. It may be the most rewarding thing you do today.
Now, Podcast One brings you Spike's Car Radio, a downloadable cars and coffee, hosted by writer, comedian, and automotive enthusiast, Spike Ferriston. Now, here's Spike.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Spike's Car Radio. How are you this morning? Good show for you today. Good show. We have comedian Russell Peters, the most famous guy you don't know. Except everybody I've told who's going to be on the show goes, yeah, Russell Peters. Very big comedian. He's got a new special on Amazon called Deported. It's up there now on Amazon Prime. Check it out. It's hilarious. He recorded it in Bombay, and he is like us. He likes cars, and he likes watches. And he'll be here in a minute. Right now, I'm here with Mr. Zuckerman, who's, what is that?
He likes money, too.
He likes money?
Yeah.
You think?
Okay, do I think? Do you like money?
You always seem to just wrestle the show. You grab it by the neck and just say these strange things.
And what else am I
supposed
supposed to do?
Yeah, everybody likes money. I know you like money. That really is your biggest motivation is money, right? Wouldn't you say?
Maybe.
Money and murder?
Money motivates. Dogs are motivated by food. Men are motivated by money.
They are?
Yes.
I find relief in money. I don't know that it motivates me solely. I'm more excited about the creative, like making things. But
I like that too.
Yeah.
I like that
What
too.
do you do that's creative, Zuckerman?
You know what I do that's creative.
What?
Okay, I've got my...
You find creative legal solutions?
Well, first of all, that is very creative. Second of all, I'm actually working at a mental hospital, basically, so you know that. So my mind is always challenged.
That's your law firm.
By the insanity of everything that is around me.
Yes, you do come up with creative solutions to talk to crazy people.
And I also,
manage
but I
them.
have creative projects. You know that. This is one of them, Ferriston.
Oh, yes.
But also I've got the Outlaw Archive.
That's right.
And that is now branched from motorcycle clubs to L.A. gangsters from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Crips
When are you
and
guys
Bloods.
going to start selling drugs?
Well, how do you know I
Just
don't?
become the motorcycle gang.
How do you know I don't? What do you want?
Have the Hells Angels laid off you guys yet?
Okay, for a second they have, but they won't for long because we're going to put out a zine called Out Bad.
Well, yeah, and what does that mean?
Well, there are when a guy is kicked out of the club and he's out bad, like the other members are not supposed to associate with him. There's like a little security file with a mugshot that gets sent out that says, it shows the guy's picture, and then then there's like a little reason why he's out bad for lack of participation, PERTIS, PATON, participation.
I'm so impressed with their organization and the way they disseminate information.
Yes, by fax machine.
But they're good. You wouldn't expect these motorcycle gangs to be this organized. I'm not joking. I'm not being facetious. That they have an organizational structure and they have rules and they follow them.
Well, yeah, they do, but they do and don't.
Out bad. I feel out bad from society.
So I don't know, we ended up somehow with, I don't know, a couple hundred of these out bad flyers from one of our contacts. And it's
so it lists the guy and what he did wrong.
Yes, and his mugshots, his internal mugshots.
Now, if you're in the Hells Angels and you see that guy, I say I'm out bad. What are you
can't
supposed
talk to him.
You just can't talk?
Can't associate with him. So can't tell him anything.
So the Hells Angels are mean girling other members.
And sometimes,
I'm not going to talk to you.
Yes, and then sometimes they make them cover up their tattoos, or they, in the old days, maybe cut them off. But maybe today you just got to put black all over them.
Can you go from out bad to in bad? Is there a way to get back in? Stomp a guy?
I don't know if anybody's ever been back in, but you can be out. You can be out okay and get back in.
I would think, in this day and age of everybody wanting publicity, the Hells Angels would be thrilled with all of this.
I don't know. They're not really all that happy about it.
Really?
Yes, really.
So there's a chance they might pull you into an alley and beat the crap out of you?
Why are you so happy? What is that?
Why would I be happy if the Hells Angels stomped and beat you? You would be happy if that happened. I mean, really, you would have an out-of-body experience and watch yourself get beat up and enjoy it because we like stuff like that.
We like it when it happens to other people. I don't like it when it happens to me.
No, not. We've been meaning to tell the story of your BMW, and I love this story, and it's so wonderful. It's good. I like it. It's a real Hollywood moment story. The BMW community might be a little upset with it, but
I'm upset about it.
But I believe the rap community will get behind it. Why don't you tell us what the car was that you had and where you got it? It was that place in Ohio, right?
Right, EAG, and I haven't told him this yet. But Eric's going to really
close
fall
to
apart.
EAD.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And so, anyway, I had this '88 BMW M3, probably one of the lowest mileage M3s in the world. I got it with 8,000 miles on it, one owner. And
this was the black one?
It was Alpine white with the red, like the cardinal red interior. Mm-hmm. A very unusual color combination, maybe the best color combination out there. And I had paid Eric a pretty penny for that car.
Right.
And it was worth it. It was just a wonderful, out of the wrapper, great example of that car. It was so clean. A preservation classic, in essence.
Perfection.
Right. Like, don't fuck with this car. And
for us to use and waste.
Yes. And so along the way, my partner, Bo, in the Outlaw Archive, he's been on the show. He happens to know one of Travis Scott's management people.
The hip-hop guy.
Yes. Now, I don't really know who he is.
I do. My kids know him.
My kids know him as well.
I listen to the music.
Yes, and he's a stylish guy. He's got a lot of shit going on. Anyway, apparently he wanted an M3. He collects cars.
Mr. Sicko mode.
And
he wants an M3.
He wants an M3.
Okay.
And so Bo says, can I take the M3 up to where he's staying with that other famous gal that he's got a baby with? What's her name?
Is that Cardi B?
No. It's the Jenner girl.
The what?
The Jenner girl.
Oh, right. Kylie Jenner?
Yeah. So,
one of those?
Yeah, so he has to take the car up there, and I think he's telling me he's got to sign an NDA to get into the premises.
Yes.
Just to, about what he sees with her.
Right. To stop this from happening.
Yes, exactly.
You and I chatting about
it. I can tell a story about my car. He says that before he got there, he saw like 5 pink Rolls-Royce SUVs. That's Kylie and her entourage entering the premises. It's like Planet Mars up there, right? It makes no sense. Like, why would you have 5 Mary Kay colored fucking SUV Rolls-Royce SUVs?
Because you have $1 billion.
I guess so. So anyway,
nothing to do.
So I guess that Travis comes and he looks at the car.
Okay.
And Bo says, oh, here's the car. And then he says, I want it in 2 seconds. And then Bo says, it's a great car. You want to drive it? He says, oh, I can't drive stick. And
first clue
that something is amiss. So Bo calls me up and says, look, do you want to sell it? And I'm really on the fence about it because I do love this car. It's a great example, but
I love money.
I love money too. So back to the original.
Joe Kennedy. You and I both live by the Joe Kennedy principle.
Yes.
If someone puts some money in your hand, close your hand.
Yes. And so I gave a number. I gave not only what I bought it for, but I added a considerable amount on top of it.
For a car that's not for sale.
Yes, that was the buyer's premium for the not-for-sale car.
Totally agree with this.
And then the response was, okay, do you take cash? Oh, yeah, I take cash. Why the fuck not do I take cash? I like cash,
This
right?
is over $100,000, right?
It's over $200,000.
Oh, okay. All
It's
right.
over $200,000.
And do you take cash?
I take cash.
Yeah.
So, okay.
You don't stop at that moment, because I know folks are thinking about this at home going, well, how do I, can I walk into a bank with $200,000?
I can. Maybe you
and
can't.
I just have to report it. Right, anything over $10,000, they make you say, what is this for? And generally, what do you answer when the bank asks you questions about your money?
Well,
what do you say?
I'm going to shove it up my ass. I don't know. I mean, do I really have to? I do have to say that
don't disclose. You've gotten to the point where that bank teller says, I need to write something down. What are you going to do with this money, right?
I like cash.
And
buy
you say,
food.
And you said once, I'm going to wipe my ass with
yes,
it.
because they called me and they said to me, well, they said,
but no, you're proving the point. Like, these bank tellers don't have a right to violate your privacy, right?
Cash is not illegal. So when they call you up and they say,
make you feel that way.
They say that since 9/11, they have to know their customer. They have to ask me. I said, do I have to tell? They said, no, we just have to ask. I said, write down that I wipe my ass with the money. and
now, does it go the other way? Like, where did you get this money? They're gonna ask you that too, right?
Sometimes do ask that, but I do have a pretty robust relationship with my bank, and it wouldn't be the first time. Like I know
it's you. I'm just saying other folks listening.
Other folks are going to have some questions to answer about the money.
But you can say,
like if you walk in the bank with $250,000 in cash, and you better be prepared to answer that. Fortunately, I have CFOs and that kind of a thing. But yes, it's unusual
because it would trigger a money laundering
They want to make sure. Yes, they want to. Yes, because let's say you have $3 in your bank account and you don't report anything on your on your tax returns, and all of a sudden you have $250,000. And imagine if you were in a little town, the cops don't like you, they pull you over, you have $250,000 in cash in your trunk, and they just say, we're going to seize this money. Because you can't prove how you got it.
Yeah, well, you could say Fetty Wap or whatever his name is.
Seizure laws is something that really bothers me because it's not criminal.
Right.
It's not beyond a reasonable doubt. They can just take your shit. But we digress.
Okay.
Anyway,
there we go.
So then we get this. So I said, okay, I take cash. Now, mind you, I really would have preferred a wire, but okay, I'm going to take it. Listen, Joe Kennedy's rule. Somebody's willing to give you way more money than you're entitled to for something. You just take however
Grab
they're
it
giving
now.
Grab it.
It's not going to be there.
Bo says, okay, I'm going to come down. I'm going to bring the guy with the money. And
so he's got a separate money guy.
He's got a money guy.
Right. And so Bo and the money guy are going to
come down and they're going
to
get the title.
And he left the car there.
Yeah, he left the car. I said, leave the car there. Okay, I don't need to see the car again. At that point, I don't want to see it again.
Right.
And he brings this guy. What the fuck was the name of the guy? He brings this guy Ramses, right? Which is, I'm thinking, like, Ramses.
The Egyptian.
It was just a white guy. So I don't know if they just called it. Does that mean he was like
Domino?
Condom carrier? I don't know. Ramses is coming with this box. And I'm looking at the box, which is pretty big. And then I look in there. It's all fucking 20s, Ferris.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I've never seen so many 20s in my life, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't want all these 20s. What was wrong with the hundreds? Don't these guys just have hundreds? What am I going to do with all these 20s?
It's a suitcase full of 20s?
It was a giant cardboard banker's box.
Got it.
Full of 20s. Do you know what counting that kind of money in 20s is like? Even with a money counter? We had a money counter. It was funny because, remember, I had gotten as a joke gift for my birthday a Ben Baller money counter from Bo. He gave it to me. It was this, plastic but gold-colored plastic money counter.
That really works.
And it really works, the Ben Baller money counter. And he had to run that thing for 5 fucking hours, running 20s through there.
Wow.
Yes.
And was it exactly right?
Yes.
There wasn't a 20 missing.
No.
Travis Scott. Look at that. Impressive.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, I asked Ramses, I said, this car, do you want my detailer's phone number? Because this car is really perfect, and it would be a shame for this car to get degraded. And then Ramsey says to me, well, he wraps all his cars in brown wrap, like this, like kind of, I don't know, Dr. Pepper color, this like this bronzy Dr. Pepper color, and for a second I thought, wait a second, he's going to wrap the car, and he says, yeah, he goes, but it protects the paint, except for the fact we've seen people peel off like a whole hood worth of paint when they unwrap it. So I started to like think for a second, I'm not going to sell this guy the car. You know, he's going to fuck this car up.
Right.
But then, you know, and then I thought about it. Well, you know, it's the old story about like, look what you did to my car and look what you did to my money.
Right.
Remember that? Like,
Billy Joel and Jerry Seinfeld.
Yes. Yeah.
Look what he did to his house.
Yeah.
What did you do with my money?
Right. Look what you did to my money. The greatest line, but
it's the greatest.
So I'm just thinking, motherfucker, he's going to wrap the car. Okay. But you know what? It made me kind of sick, and it really kind of depressed me. But that's not where it ended, as you know, because it didn't get wrapped.
No.
It didn't get wrapped at all.
So where do you catch up with the car when it's in its final incarnation, right?
When it's on a billboard on Sunset Boulevard, having been sent first to West Coast Classics, where they,
West Coast Customs,
where they molested the fucking car. They painted it crazy fucking colors, paint, mind you, not wrap. Painted it all this Cactus Jack shit. What is this Cactus Jack? It's like his brand or his moniker.
I think it's the name of his tour.
Right.
The Cactus Jack Tour. I don't know. I'll ask my kids. Here it is right here.
And then they put on the vehicle. We'll have to post this on the same. That's going to be our post for this podcast, okay?
Yeah.
And so they painted it crazy fucking colors, and then they put all of these rally lights on the front. They completely fucked a perfect car. They could have taken a car with 130,000 miles and done this.
They put a Texaco sticker on it. A Continental sticker.
It's paint, brother.
Records and tapes, the number 2, an A. It looks pretty cool. Some Japanese script. It says Cactus Jack across the windshield. The light formation is like nothing I've ever seen off the front, they're kind of stacked.
They cut the hood up, and then they installed all the rally lights on the front. Well, I guess money was no object, right? Like, it's like, okay.
No, they hip-hopped your car. I mean, I showed my kids this car, and my boys, and they loved it. They thought, they loved what he did with your car. I mean, this is just a cultural thing, I think, for us. We're old preservation guys. This guy is an artist, and he did something weird. This is how we started the podcast. Artists and money and being artistic. And Travis Scott was Travis Scott. You got your money, and all is right with the world.
So he's going to destroy the car, and I'm going to destroy his money. And everything's equal.
I would guess his fans really, really love this. Is there already... Look at that. Hold on. Look at this, Zuckerman. There is already a Hot Wheels model of your car in the Travis Scott. Look at that.
Are you kidding me?
That's it. They made a Hot Wheels. They must be selling a Hot Wheels version of the car.
Eric from EAG, Eric Keller, is going to hang himself. He's going to be beside himself. I predict like a 7-day drunk is going to happen over this car. This car was like in his private collection. He didn't want to sell it. And he sold it to me because he always felt I was going to be the proper custodian for the car, and that if ever came time to sell it, it would go to him. Instead, I gave it to this guy, and the guy did what he did.
And the Hot Wheels version of the car is already sold out. I can't get it. I was just going to order it for you. It's already sold out, Zuckerman. I don't know. This is kind of cool.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't have the same love and passion for BMWs that you have, so I can't really reference the emotion, but I like it. It's interesting to me.
Okay,
it's cool, and it works. And there's a Hot Wheels. It's a fun story. It's a funny car story.
It is a funny car story, but you could appreciate.
And I like Travis Scott's music.
Well, let's say somebody took, one of the cars
like the 82,
that you really
the
prized.
82 911.
Or let's say,
the blue one, Jerry.
Okay, but that was
Travis Scotted.
He did a Travis Scott on it, a mild Scott. He did a mild Scott.
He should have went the whole way.
He didn't do a full Scott. But let's say somebody took like that really low mileage, your green. Your green 70, and then did like a crazy Safari.
That would be a shame.
Yeah, somebody, and then they did a Safari hack on it.
Yeah,
10,000 mile green 70S.
Yeah,
and they hacked it up and made a Safari a clown car out of it.
Yeah. I don't know how much money did I get for it. I might be able to look past that.
Yes.
Let's see if we can track down the Hot Wheels. I'm going to see if I can find that today. I'll have my minions start looking, because that should be on your desk, Zuckerman. That's Did you ever think you'd be living in Hollywood, getting a suitcase full of 20s and a BMW, handing it over to a rap star?
Ferris, if you saw me in August of 1982 arriving from Long Island to
that's
California.
when we graduated high school.
Yes,
you left after high school to come out here?
To come out here,
right.
I was just a Long Island dirtbag with a denim jacket
you still
and
are,
long
but
hair.
Continue, yes.
And
no hair.
And my greatest skill was hanging out in front of the delicatessen getting guys to buy six-packs for me. I didn't have anything. I didn't even have potential.
It was fun doing that, wasn't it?
The funny time was when the guy, and it was always awful if you were that guy, because we gave him the exact change in like quarters, pennies, and dimes. And I still remember to this day we wanted Michelob. That was kind of a good beer.
Michelob was the great beer.
Yeah,
right.
we were stretching, and he walked out of the deli, walked right past us, and turned around and said, "Thanks for the beer, Dick boys."
That happened.
And then
we liked Miller Lights in the bottles. Remember they used to sell Miller Lite small bottles.
Yeah,
which was perfect
you got
for
an
kids.
8-pack. Remember that?
Yeah.
That
That's
was an
what we
8-pack
liked.
of the ponies, we called them.
Yeah, right.
They were like 8 ounces.
Why was it? I was thinking about this. Why did we have the ability? Like, I had the ability to drink a case of beer in high school. I could drink the whole case myself in a night.
And by the way,
right?
And only pee one time.
Yeah, I know. What was that? How were we able to do that?
Well, look where it took us. Okay, so we weren't able to do that. It was the start of a bad relationship.
No, I had a great relationship with it. I always ended up in a golf cart, driving around somebody's golf course and tearing up. It's small town life. You get away with a lot more in small town life, I think, or used to.
We did. I mean. Yes, we certainly did. So,
right.
Yes, it's a great thing. Here I am at this table all these years later. I've got some rappers' money. I have a little credibility with my kids over this.
That'll fade.
Yes, of course. And so, yes,
and we're no closer to the Jenner family.
No closer. Nor do I really want to be, but that's maybe you do. I don't.
I don't. I respect them. I think
I respect
they've made
them.
a lot of money.
I respect that. I just don't want to be with them.
I think we're actually pursuing one of them for some show we've got going on.
Really?
Yeah. But, there's a lot going on at Hangar 56 that I don't know what's happening. But
no, you're busy. You're very busy.
But she could be very additive, one of them, to this project we're doing over there. We'll see if it works out. But they're, at this point, they're loaded. They did it. They made a ton. Whatever you want to say about them, they made a ton of money.
The mother is
and they got
fucking
a business.
Genius.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that, but she's
really
good at marketing.
Okay, genius at money.
Yeah.
She's a genius at making money.
So do you think Travis Scott? Let's go back just to the money. How do you think he put that suitcase full of 20s together? Do you think he went to the bank and said, "Give me 20s"? Do you think he has a money counting basement?
I think he has a money counting basement. I think that.
And do you think that money just comes from the door performing?
Yes, or from merchandise like sneakers or.
But who pays in 20s, right? I mean, I was a bartender, and you get paid with 20s, 5s, and, if you're a stripper, you come home with a lot of 1s and 5s, right? I would imagine that's the door when he's performing, right? Maybe they're handing off a suitcase of cash to him, right?
And I also hear that he has some good merchandise deals with, say, Nike, right?
Right. But that wouldn't mean cash, right? It would?
It could, yes.
I don't know. That seems like money transfers and everything else.
Well,
this seems like the road. Like any of those old musicians I met on Night Music with David Sanborn, They had a roll of money in their sock from the performance, and then they had a little 38 in the other sock. Little Milton, those guys. That's what life on the road was like. You just take the cash, you roll it into your sock, and put the gun in the other sock so no one takes the money.
You know, I wonder if people listening to this, you know, if that's something that happened in your lifetime, and that you were a young guy when that happened, right? When you saw this stuff, and your kids are never going to see anything like that.
What?
You might as well be talking cowboys and Indians, right? Like Little Milton with a gun in the sock and a roll of money. Kids are never going to see that.
Miles Davis dropping his trumpet.
Right.
And then me being asked to leave the room until he picks it up and come back and pretend I didn't see what I saw. That was fun. Me and Eric Clapton in a little closet with an open window looking at the Fashion Institute of Technology girls change, who use their windows as mirrors. And it was just like 50 girls changing at night while we were all supposed to be in rehearsing the show. Was
he humming? Was he musical at that moment?
No, we were all quiet. In fact, the producer of the show said, he goes, that I was an intern, I think, and he said, oh, Spike, let us know when the girls are changing, and then we'll go, I want to show Eric. So I walked into a live performance and then say, hey, it's happening.
And then you all crowd.
We all just crowd into this tiny closet.
That was a different kind of Me Too moment. Let me in. Me Too.
It's not a Me Too. It's not
let me in, too.
It was just this funny thing, you know, one of the funny little things that happened in New York, and it was charming. It was good times, that show. Night Music with David Sanborn. We did 2 years of it. Delight. Met a lot of really interesting musicians there.
But, of course, my favorite Ferriston moment is you having lunch with Larry Fine's sister.
It could be the greatest moment of my life.
The greatest moment.
Lila Fine. Who looks just like Larry from the Three Stooges, who talks just like Larry, but has long hair and boobs. And
what a weird experience.
And married to the sound effect guy who did the sound effects in the movies. It was great. My friend Eddie Gordetsky, who was a writer on Saturday Night Live, now runs Mom, works with Chuck Lorre, who you know. He's the one who arranged it. And he pitched it like that. He goes, I am going to take you to the greatest lunch of your life. Just meet me at this restaurant, and I will. I go, what are you doing? And he goes, just trust me. This will be the greatest lunch of your life. And we were outside the restaurant. He said, guess who we're going to meet right now? He goes, Larry from the Three Stooges' sister. And I hugged him. I said, thank you.
You hugged him?
I said, thank you for this.
You were bridging. You just had a bridge moment between old Hollywood and modern Hollywood. And you should tell.
It was great.
You should tell when you see Russell. You should tell him about that.
I would, except my interview with him has already happened in this sequence of how we record this podcast. But I will tell you, those New York days when I was interning under Eddie, we had this Friday night movie club in Times Square that Penn would be there, Penn and Teller,
right.
A bunch of wild comedians and comedy writers, and me, like the little 22-year-old kid. And every Friday night we'd go to Howard Johnson's and eat, and then go to the midnight preview of whatever movie was playing, usually something silly. And we would all sit in the front row, and there were all these funny little customs that we would have. So in the movie, if they said the title, everybody would applaud politely. But there'd be 20 of us in this front row. Billy West, who did voices for WBCN and now does a bunch of cartoon voices. It's a really charming part of my career. It was
just being that wide-eyed kid.
Yeah, you got no money. You're like hanging out with these super funny people, and they're doing silly things. It was just great.
Tell me about the time you went to a bachelor party with that news guy.
That news guy? Who?
Dan Rather.
Oh, yeah. No, that was Corky Ramirez, who was the stage manager for Letterman's. He was getting married, and Dave just comes down and he goes, "Come on, guys, we're taking Corky out for a bachelor party." It was like a Thursday afternoon at Studio 54, which was now Studio 54, the strip joint, and so we all walked over there and we got drinks and we were sitting at the edge of the stage, and I'm sitting next to Dan Rather. There were only like 10 of us, and of course Dave buys Dan Rather a lap dance. This this very attractive woman. And what surprised me was Dan Rather did not decline it. He said, "Come on, baby." And she got on top of him, and I got to watch that. And I thought, again, another wonderful moment in my life. I never thought I would get to see this.
Yes, of course, the world's most serious newscaster. And I like your description.
Well, he's not serious. He's got a great sense of humor, and it was funny, and it was charming in a way.
Yeah, well, you made me laugh because you said, like, in TV land or wherever you were filming, like, you guys are the comedy guys, a lot of you together, and Dan would be on his set all by himself.
Yeah, so he would be. It was
lonely.
odd. We'd go over to 57th Street if we had to shoot something with him, and he'd be this guy kind of standing in the middle of the news set by himself. They're all like that. There's nobody on the floor. They're just by themselves. And he was a little wackier than most. He liked train songs and trains, and he always seemed really happy to have
Charlie?
he always seemed really happy to have a visitor.
Yes, like the dentist. Please. You know how they say dentists have the highest suicide rate?
Yeah. No,
lonely and ready to kill themselves.
He seemed really happy. He's a great guy.
He's
still out there doing it. He's still out there on Twitter. He's still out there giving us perspective, and is super smart.
Would
cogent.
you please tweet him and say you'd like to relive that moment at the strip bar? You'd like to go with him, buy him a lap dance?
I would think our listeners are pretty surprised that Dan Rather was getting lap dances, and I'll bet they like him for it. Right?
Of course. It humanizes him.
And it's classic Dave. Classic Dave. Dave loves to provide super funny moments out of nowhere, right? It's simple as like eating a fork full of relish and going, "Hey, look, I'm eating relish," or buying Dan Rather a lap dance. He's always on. It was funny. Good times. Anyway, we have Russell Peters coming up here. Zuckerman, I know you have to get off to work.
Yep.
All right. We'll be right back with more Spike's Car Radio. So how do you know your motor oil is good enough to protect your engine? Well, guess what? You don't, but one brand does. They literally go the extra mile with everything. I'm talking about our friends at Valvoline. That's right. Valvoline is the only motor oil brand in the world with an engine lab completely dedicated to testing motor oil. They take their products and their competitors, I might add, and they run them through the gauntlet. You hear that, Zuckerman? I'm talking thousands and thousands of miles. Then their engineers and technicians drink that oil. No, they don't. They take those engines apart piece by piece and evaluate exactly what happened. Was there carbon buildup? How did the seals hold up? Did the engine perform like it was supposed to? And most importantly, were the critical engine components protected? So when Valvoline is formulating oil for your engine, they know exactly how it performs and what protects it best. They've seen the results firsthand. It's why I trust Valvoline in my cars, in my motorcycles, in my mini bike. And it's why Valvoline has been trusted for more than 150 years. Head over to Valvoline.com/Spike to see what product is right for your engine.
You're listening to Spike's Car Radio.
Is that your team? Look, there they are.
My brother.
Wow, look at him. Is he your publicist?
No, he's my manager.
Oh, he's your manager.
He's got the good head of the family. And I've got this.
You're listening to Russell Peters here. We're talking about his brother. Is that what you're here promoting?
I'm here promoting my brother. He's got a new special.
What's his special?
I am the special.
You have a new special called Deported on Amazon. I watched it. Hugely funny. It's out right now, right? That's obviously how I watched it, right?
Yeah, I would hope that's how you watched it. Sorry for yawning, Spike.
It's okay. It's early in the morning here. Russell Peters takes his culturally comedic roadshow to the land of his ancestors, Mumbai, am I pronouncing that right? India, for an evening that's as informative.
You can just say Bombay if you want.
As it is it one of those cities with two names?
Well,
like
no,
Ho
it used,
Chi
to be
Minh,
it used to be Bombay, and then it became Mumbai.
Saigon and Ho Chi Minh City are two.
Yeah, it's the same type of deal.
Except if you say the wrong one,
They get offended.
Yes.
In Bombay, they don't.
They don't. Okay.
They're like, whatever, either or.
In it, you reflect on your own immigrant lineage and prove why he's more than one in 1.3 billion.
Spike, try not to sound like you're reading it.
I am reading it right off the thing. I just want to get right into it.
The same guy who watched it. Yes.
Yes. Let me read what I watched. Why did you pick Bombay?
It was my 30th year of doing stand-up, and I figured, I made a lot of jokes about being Indian over the years, and I wanted the good people of India to know that it's all been done out of love.
Right.
So I figured what better way to commemorate it. I had to shoot a special anyway, so.
But do you worry that there'll be a language barrier, that you're going to get a good audience?
No. I mean, I've performed there many times.
You have?
I already know
seen
what
that.
they're capable of and how great they can be. So
Wow.
I decided I'd do it there. And I know that the rest of the streaming networks all wanted to play for that part of the world. And I figured, let's give it a shot and see what happens.
Yeah. What are some of the technical issues you face when you're doing a stand-up comedy hour in Bombay?
Well, for me, I mean, I heard. Sorry for yawning so I spoke.
What did you do last night?
I flew in yesterday from Tampa. I had shows in Florida all weekend. So I didn't sleep. And then I slept last night. And then I woke up early to come out and start doing this stuff.
Right.
This was unnecessarily early. Even I know you don't want to be here this early.
I do like doing this early.
Do you really?
Yeah, I like getting right into it Monday morning. This isn't my real job.
No, I know. But you know.
So I like to do one of these, and then I go do my real job. And today I have to bookend my day. I've got to do this, and then I'm going to Matt Ferris thing. And I've got to find some time in the middle of the day to do actual work, right?
You're very jobby.
Yeah. Well, you're off to a bunch of places. Where are you going?
Oh, I don't know. I got a bunch of...
Promotion, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, it's already out. Just go watch it.
I know, but there's not a big premiere date anymore. It's like you have to alert people that it's on their television, right?
Yeah. You know, it's funny is I went to go watch it, and then I realized I don't know what my login is for
Right.
Amazon Prime.
Yes. No. And I watch, we just had Kevin Pollak in.
Oh, nice.
Who's on that Marvelous Mrs. Maisel show.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to go find your show. When I saw that you were coming on, I was like, oh, yeah, look, there it is. And you scroll down, and there it is.
Yeah.
Like, we're lazy as a culture. We don't even want to scroll through our menus.
Yeah, it's like yeah, there's no
Right?
way of, like, there's no easier way of giving it to somebody. Like,
Yes.
Even if you give them a DVD, then they're like, oh, now I got to get a DVD player out, you know,
Right.
whatever.
This works. This will work. People,
Yeah, I mean, it's showing you how exactly lazy we can be. Because once it asked me for a login, I was like, forget it.
Right.
I'm not creating a whole new thing because I know I'm going to forget it.
Exactly. I don't want to try anything.
And then I'll have to negate what I did before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the special's great. I want to talk more about that, but let's talk about cars because I know you're a car and you're a watch guy. And
I happened to just get a new car yesterday.
And you were one of the very first guests on our podcast. We thank you for that, for coming on early when we were nobody. And here's what I remember. You seemed to be a little kind of just indifferent towards everything. Like you'd had everything, you have the ability to buy anything, and you were getting a little kind of indifferent. Am I right?
Yeah, you are.
And so where are you at right now? Let's start with cars.
Okay.
How are you feeling about cars right now?
I think I'm still a little indifferent now. It's kind of more, now I'm at this place now where it's like, I think I've had every car that I've ever wanted for the most part.
Okay. Very lucky, very fortunate.
Very, very, very lucky. And I've decided that I'm just going back to things that I really liked and that I got rid of because for whatever reason something else new and shiny came out.
Right.
And I was like, oh, those were the wrong moves. And yesterday I just picked up the brand new 2020 Audi S8.
Oh, there you go.
I've been waiting for that redesign for a long time. So
It's a
I'm
beautiful
very happy
car.
Oh, my God, yeah.
What color did you do?
I didn't order it, so I just took what they had. Mm-hmm. I got a silver with a cognac interior.
Wow. That's a nice car.
Yeah.
I thought the Audis at the LA Auto Show were beautiful. I thought they were the best out of
they're
anything.
always-
They just had beautiful colors and beautiful designs.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. I had the 2007 S8, and that was with the Lamborghini engine in it, the V10. And then I had the redesign in 2013, and that was an amazing car.
Wow.
And then I just got this one, and I got it last night. I haven't really driven it yet.
Are you in it today?
No, we got a driver, and I was kind of bummed about that. I'm like, damn it, I could have driven myself around in this thing.
Yeah, why not? You're in charge. Can't you just tell everybody?
Then I got to worry about parking, and and I don't trust this driver with my brand new car.
Yeah,
Scratch
that's
a rim
true.
or something.
Yeah. It will happen. It will
happen.
definitely happen.
It's always the dumb, annoying things that'll happen.
Yes. And you don't want to be thinking about that while you're doing press.
Yeah, he won't get into an accident. He just hit a curb and you son of a bitch.
It's fine. Here you go. Yeah, but don't you have car people that fix those things?
I do have a guy that comes to the house, but why would you want to do that? Do you have a windshield guy?
I do. I have a guy for everything at this point.
Oh, good. I need one.
There's a guy. In fact, there's the guy. Mm-hmm. I have a guy.
A guy named Guy, or
a guy that will find the other guys.
Oh, you got guys.
Guys.
Nice.
So you call that guy and you go, I need a windshield guy. He goes, I got the guy.
You got the guy.
Yeah.
I need a guy.
Why?
I got a Lamborghini Urus.
Oh, you do?
And I got a Stone Chip.
Ah.
And it was a bad one. It was like we're driving to Vegas, and it felt like I thought somebody shot at the car.
Really?
Whack! I was like, oh my God.
Now that's a great truck. I like that thing.
I love it.
Right? What color is that? Yellow? That's you driving around?
That's me, buddy.
I think I've seen you. Isn't that one of the greatest little creations?
It is, but you know what? I don't think it works in other colors.
I liked it in the blue, the ceruleus blue.
So it's got to be the blue, the yellow, or the red.
Right.
Maybe the white.
Yes.
But the black and the gray don't work for me. They just look like Audis.
Well, yeah, they are,
Yeah.
and also you're not really enjoying the personality of the car unless you give it a big bright color like that.
Yeah, and I got the big. My daughter calls it the Bumblebee.
It's superbly fast and usable at the same time, right?
It's great. It's comfortable. I drive to Vegas in that thing. It feels great.
Is it your only SUV? I mean, Lamborghini.
No. I have the 2020 or 2019 Lincoln Navigator.
Okay, but I meant a Lamborghini, though.
Oh yeah, it's my only Lamborghini.
Isn't it perfect as your only Lamborghini? Because it has the Lamborghini interior, so you feel like you're getting the experience, yet it's got the SUV usage of a dad.
Yep.
Or a guy driving to Vegas with his friends. Yeah. It's such a perfect creation.
And then you get the yellow color to say, hey, look, I want you guys to know I could get a sports car, but I have also got a family.
Yes.
You know.
It's a safety color.
Yeah.
I have no problem with the yellow.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's an amazing.
You don't have people looking over at you, giving you...
No, I always get the thumbs up. Hey, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That only happens here in L.A. You take it out of L.A., you're in trouble.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
you're a
Vegas,
scumbag anywhere else.
Yeah.
This is douchebag. What does he think he is?
So you've got those cars. Anything old? Are you driving any old cars?
No, I'm not. I you know what it is? I don't know enough about cars if something goes wrong.
But
when you have old cars, things go wrong.
But you know all of us.
I know, but I'm hey, Spike, it's Russell.
The text.
What does this mean? It means you ran out of gas. Oh, okay, thank you.
No, you'll say, I need this, and I'll put you in touch with my guy.
You got a guy with that?
Yeah, and that's part of the fun.
The windshield is expensive as hell for this car.
I'll bet. Let me guess. Okay, hold on. So it's got some electronics in there, and that's BMW. I'm going to extrapolate up. I'm going to say $5,200.
No, it's not that.
My wife's BMW windshield was $3,800 to replace.
Really?
Yes.
Which BMW?
Just a 5 Series I Performance.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've got a 2020 750 as well.
Well, what is the price of the windshield replacement?
It's $2,800 or something.
Who's doing it?
I don't know.
It can't be Lamborghini. You got to watch out for this.
It's Lamborghini.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
The insurance companies.
My insurance deductible's $5,000. I'm like, come on.
But a lot of the time they have the windshield clause in there where you get a free windshield.
Really?
And then what they do, here's the flim-flam. They send over SafeLight, right? Mm-hmm. My insurance company bought SafeLight. So they send over a guy in a van. They go, here you go. And they hand you a piece of glass that they put in. They go, by the way, none of the electronics that your old windshield did, they're not going to work. We don't have that kind of windshield. This is just glass.
Yeah, they got you Dave's House of Windshields.
No, it's the insurance company, yeah. And that's what they're doing. And then that's how they rip you up. You have to decline it. You have to say, get the fuck out of here. I want my BMW windshield. And then you have to get Zuckerman on the phone, who's not here, lawyer, and yell at them.
I remember Zuckerman.
Zuckerman's around. And you get them to yell, and then they give you the actual windshield, which is $3,800, in full functionality. So be careful. Make sure that you get full functionality.
Well, I was just going to do the proper through Lambo.
That's good. Well, that's good.
I was going to go to Lambo or Audi because it's the same car.
Right.
What do you think about that new RSQ8?
I don't know.
Seen it?
No, haven't seen it. Haven't driven it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I saw the regular.
Have a look at that thing.
You want me to pull it up right now?
Yeah,
I've got all my
it's going to give
notes.
the Lambo a run for its money because it's for guys who want to save $100,000 and get the exact same car
and don't want to own a Lamborghini. Oh yeah. I don't know.
It is the exact same car.
It is. We saw a Q8 yesterday in the old hardware store parking lot.
The RSQ8 they've changed.
I know, I could see the Lamborghini in the regular Q8. I could see it sitting there, and if you're gonna go, do it. Just do it. The Urus, however you pronounce it, Urus, urine.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just go the whole way. Don't hedge. What about watches?
What did I wear today?
Did you tell that story? So you have the white Daytona,
Yes.
You're
Panda.
still in all of these Rolexes, huh?
You know.
Did you tell the story on the podcast about the prince who was buying you all the watches?
Yes, it wasn't even the prince. It was one of his friends.
You told that story,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's
Is
one of
that
his
still
friends.
happening?
You know what?
Where Middle Eastern royalty invites you out and
That
just...
was in Saudi Arabia, and I've subsequently found out that I am now barred from Saudi Arabia.
Why?
I guess I told the story too much.
Really?
Yeah, I found out he's not welcome in in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia anymore. I'm like, what? What did I do?
Wow.
I said nice things.
Yeah.
I had a great time. Why am I getting punished
Does
for
that
having
mean
a good time?
I'm on some sort of list as well?
I'm on a list now. And it actually hurt my feelings.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, Saudi Arabia these days, and they're killing journalists and stuff. I mean, does it really matter that you're getting...
One guy.
Does it really matter you're getting banned by Saudi Arabia? They're into some bad shit. Didn't they just hack Jeff Bezos in his phone?
I think that's what they're finding out things now.
Yeah, yeah.
And I suppose this is working out in my favor.
I think so. I think if, you tell
it's a better story for me to be like, I was not allowed to go there no more.
Right.
Then I just don't bother.
No, you look good that you're banned from them.
Yeah, I guess
right?
we're gonna flip this.
It's like saying Putin is like, I'm banned from good. Yeah, these are our enemies now. They're starting to be our enemies.
Apparently
Not Rolex.
Kim Jong-un doesn't like me anymore.
So that hasn't happened anymore. So how big is your watch collection?
I think I've shrunk it down a little bit. I gave a couple away maybe, and
wow, Elvis
sold one, and
really,
yeah, you know.
Who do you give watches to?
It's like friends that are like, you know, I kind of look at them and go, I like have some old Breitlings. I'm like, you look like you need a Breitling because this is not worth anything to sell. And I'd rather give it to you than take a hit from some store.
Yes. That's a depressing moment, isn't it?
Yeah, you're like, here's a nice Bentley by Breitling.
You know who's collecting more Breitlings than he needs is Seinfeld.
Is he really?
We were talking about it yesterday.
Why is he buying Breitlings?
I don't know. It's
they don't even match a Porsche.
Look, I like Breitlings, and Breitlings are very, you know, they call to you when you see them. There are many, many beautiful designs, but there are also many, many watches that they're putting out every year. There's 80 different kinds of good-looking Breitlings, right? Which is why they end up not being worth anything.
Right.
Yet you walk by the window and you see the new one and you go, I'll get that.
Yeah,
right?
The colors, the price, everything. You're like, that's not a bad price.
I'm wearing a rose gold Navitimer from Crown and Caliber. I've got my Rolex Daytona.
Hey, look at this. You're wearing the opposite
You're
of
white.
mine.
That's right.
You are black and I'm white. This is the story of my life.
But, you know, and it looks good. It's a great watch. I wouldn't get too heavy into Breitlings because of the value. And I like the brand.
Yeah, I mean, I bought, you know, when I first started making money, the first thing I bought was a Breitling with a diamond bezel.
Right.
And I was like, oh, my God. And I think it was like $11,000 or something.
Right.
And someone was like, what time is it? I go, it's 11,000 o'clock. And now you realize, oh, what a dick.
And that watch is worth what right now?
I don't know. I gave it to my old boxing coach.
There you go. It's $80.
Maybe.
They're like the Mercedes of watches, right? They start off pretty expensive, but then they just...
Yeah, you get an S63. You buy one in 2014, you're like, $220,000. Then you look at it in 2018, $40,000? What happened to this car?
We like to talk about that. They have one watch that has a big button on it, like the emergency watch.
Oh, yeah, with the beacon.
With the beacon, right? And Jerry has one of those, and we were going through the manual and thinking, all right, well, one thing, if you set off the beacon by mistake, you're going to have to pay for whoever responds.
Yes,
but then we were wondering, who is responding? Who did Breitling hire to monitor these phone calls?
What if it has no reception?
Well, it does. It'll go anywhere.
Yeah.
But who are the rum-dums that are sitting in a shack somewhere waiting for a Breitling beacon to go
off? You
up?
guys hear that? Is that a Breitling?
Right? I want to know if anybody's ever been rescued by their Breitling rescue watch.
It has.
Really?
Yeah, there was a little girl. She was a little girl. She was like 13, 14.
She had one
and
of
she
these?
was trying to cross the ocean. Do you remember this?
No.
She was trying to be the first young
Yes.
girl that was trying to cross
This
the
isn't
Atlantic
Greta
Ocean or
Thunberg,
something.
that girl?
One of those types.
Yes.
And she got stranded at sea, and she hit the beacon.
And it worked.
It worked.
The Rum-Dums rescued her.
Yeah, but I mean, you already knew they were watching her. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
It wasn't like Jethro showed up in a tugboat. Hey, you need help, little girl. You know, it was like helicopters and dramatic. It was like a Bad Boys movie.
So you're saying we should get these?
You know, now that Seinfeld's wearing them, I'll do it.
I don't know.
Whatever it takes to get on Comedians in Cars, I'll do.
I don't know that. I don't know that he cares about the value of those watches, and I think he's even confused by the size of his Breitling collection.
Does he get
like, how did that happen?
Does he buy the giant face ones too?
No, he likes Navitimers.
Okay,
they're beautiful. They're all beautiful
they're
watches.
Very nice watches.
It's just how many. I think he might look at them like we look at Nike sneakers or a pair of
that's
Levi's.
fair.
Like, why not have 8 pair of Levi's to wear?
Yeah. I buy. Yeah, I'm the same. I have a trick with jeans now. I
What's
buy them
that?
at American Eagle because they have all these different cuts and different styles.
Yeah,
and they all have stretch in them.
Oh, they do. Levi's
which is
does
very,
too.
Well, some Levi's do.
Yes,
but they have a good stretch in the
right
in the American Eagle ones, and I find them very comfortable.
If you're just tuning in, you're hearing some real old man talk going
That's
on right now.
Like my testicles are happy right now. I'm sitting in jeans and I'm happy.
We like. I'm watching your brother eat. What is he eating there? What does he
Probably
got?
a breakfast sandwich.
Oh,
I asked for one as well.
he's eating both of them
I wouldn't be surprised.
at the beginning of his day. Stretch. This stretch jeans are one of the greatest inventions for the old man, right?
Stretch anything.
Right.
Like they need to make more stretch suits.
You talked about this in your stand-up. You said, now you're fat. I'm looking across. You're not fat.
Well, no, I ballooned up to 240, and now I'm down to 215.
At that special?
No, I had already lost weight. At the special, I must have been around 220.
You look great up there.
Yeah, I must have been around 220-something, 222 maybe. But now I'm 215, so
that's why you like the stretch trance?
I just like, to know that if I do indulge one day at the restaurant.
What are you eating?
I don't know. I don't know what's going to bloat me nowadays. It's a really shitty part of life right now. You're like, is this not? I used to love eating bread. What?
Right.
Am I going to be bloated from the bread?
Yes.
Dude,
How old are you?
50 this year.
Oh, you're 50. Okay. Yeah, well,
you're old, but you look young.
I am old.
How old are you now?
I'm 55 now.
Yeah. You still look childish.
But anything, and I will continue to die childish soon. You eat, I find that if I have just one bad day, like the one night, like last night, I'm just going to be ruined for the week, right?
Yeah, I'm...
What do you like to do? Do you like to watch TV and eat food late at night?
No.
That's what I do.
I've got this kind of figured out where I don't snack anymore.
Okay.
That's my big thing. I was snacking, and that's how I was gaining all this weight, too.
What do you like to snack on?
I don't know. I don't do it anymore.
But what did you?
I would like Doritos or any kind of dumb shit that's around.
Okay.
Oh, is that chocolate? Let me have some chocolate. Is that donut? Let me have a donut. Every
Right.
every dumb thing that was around. Anything.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay. Look at that. It's just a little thing.
Yes.
And I would look at it. Everything's supposed to help my metabolism. It's not. Hey, you keep eating every 2 hours, right? Oh, you have to eat healthy every 2 hours. Oh, that's a lot of work.
Right.
So now I eat like maybe 2 or 3 times a day.
It gets confusing because you're right. Now you're saying you used to hear, well, wake up and eat, start your metabolism. And now you're hearing, no, you want to fast for 16 hours. Eat whatever you want.
Yep.
And what happened?
I do the fasting every day.
Does it work?
Fasting. Oh, yeah, it's great. You don't even notice. Like, you don't get hungry like you think you're going to get hungry.
Right.
And then when you go to eat, you're like, man, I don't really feel like eating that much anyway.
So you will have your last meal at what, like 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, whenever, and then you'll go 16 hours.
Yeah, easy.
Wow. No coffee?
It's easier on the road. I know I have the coffee in the morning. I don't have anything, and maybe water. That's about all I have.
Right.
But
Wow.
on the road, it's easier because then you do the show, I go to sleep, I wake up in the afternoon, I go eat breakfast. It's real easy then. But over here, it's a little more difficult.
Do you still burn calories performing?
I would hope so.
I find that to be one of the best ways to lose weight is get in front of a camera or do something like that, right?
Well, I mean, I'm training jiu-jitsu every day, too. So
what is that?
Jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. Why?
I just love it. I really do love it. I'm addicted.
Do you compete?
I'm going to compete this year.
Do you have a belt?
I'm a blue belt with 3 stripes.
Okay. And what does that mean? Does that put you mid-tier or toward a black belt?
Well, it goes white, blue, purple, brown, black.
Because my son is blue with green stripes.
Where?
In karate.
Yeah, you want to get him into. You should get him into. Probably get him into something that works. You might want to get him into jiu-jitsu.
You're saying, excuse me, both of us are a mess, by the way. The air is just terrible here in L.A. right now.
This is how you know it's like a couple of old guys talking?
It's not. I mean, yesterday we had some of the worst air quality in L.A. In a long time. There were warnings out. It was foggy out, and I don't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, well, that's what caused the problems yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was right behind my house.
Oh, yeah, I know. We're
1 mile away.
We're talking, obviously, that's Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
That was a pretty shocking moment for, I think, all of us.
Oh, yeah.
And was it foggy out there in the hill?
It was foggy in the hill, yeah.
The whole day?
No, it cleared up shortly after that. But
so
that morning...
That crash happened in the morning.
Yeah, it happened like 10 in the morning. So that's that marine layer, as they call it, right? I guess in Malibu they call it the marine layer. But
right.
I guess for us it's fog.
Right. No,
because it's got the mountains and the valleys and all that, it all sits unevenly.
Right. Yeah, even in Brentwood, it was that bad. And, boy, so that's probably what happened, huh? They got lost.
Yeah, something happened. So whatever it was bad.
Yeah. What was it? I had a birthday party to drive to that afternoon out in that direction with my kids in the car. And we saw, just stuck in traffic in the 101, all sorts of, a cornered truck go by, which I had never seen before.
Wow.
With a Frigidaire on the front of it, big white truck. Obviously, they were going there to the crash site.
Yeah, it was right. I could literally see the plume of smoke from my back,
really?
From my back balcony. I was standing on my balcony because I went to bed. I landed.
Right.
I landed at like 9:15 in the morning from Florida. I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
So I got home at like 10:15, and then I got in bed, and then I feel the whole house shaking because a helicopter's flying over, because it's going to the site, I would imagine. A helicopter flew over and it shook the whole house. What the hell's that? The only time you hear that is when there's a fire.
Right.
And I'm like, so I put on the news and I see, I'm like, oh, shit. And then I go to my balcony and I look out and I see the plume of smoke coming up. And I'm like, oh, boy, this is horrible.
I was following the story. I was working on my computer following the story just because it was Malibu, right? Malibu, Calabasas, going, well, if I drive out to Bill's, I got to know if I get traffic reports. And it was saying there's this helicopter crash. I'm like, that's weird. And then I was in the kitchen. It's such an odd thing. I was in the kitchen and CNN was just talking about it for a second. I'm like, that's odd that CNN is covering a local helicopter crash that no one even knew if there were fatalities at that point.
No,
and then they announced.
I just saw a helicopter crash.
And then she got the news, this newscaster, and then she looked shocked, and then she read it, and I couldn't believe how much it affected me. I was so shocked.
Yeah, I'm not a basketball fan.
Me neither.
By any stretch of the imagination. And when I heard it was Kobe Bryant, I was like, that's terrible.
It was shocking.
But then when I heard his daughter, I really got very upset.
Yeah, you have daughters?
Like, yeah, I have a daughter. So
right. I think that was very shocking, but I couldn't believe how I got a chill when I heard it was Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
And when she said 41 years old, I just went, right?
It just didn't seem real.
No. It's an interesting moment where we are when this news comes in. What is that? Where exactly where you were when JFK was assassinated.
Yeah.
What is
9/11,
that?
9/11. You remember where you were,
right?
I got up early. I still went to do the gig that I thought I had that day. I was so fucking broke. I'm like, I need this money.
I gotta work.
And I got to the college that the gig was at, and they're like, "Sorry, man, the show's canceled," because they had the big TV sitting in the cafeteria. I'm like, well, could somebody have told me? Because can I get money for the gas? Can I get money for parking? I'm broke, dude.
That's unbelievable. I overslept. I was extremely hungover that morning.
Nice.
And I slept through the whole thing until my girlfriend, now wife, came running in Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
Came running in and said, "We're under attack." And I went, "What?" And I still couldn't make sense of it.
And then I was drunk.
And then I was stuck with Louis C.K. Louis was spending the weekend over at my house, so he couldn't get back to New York. So he and I went to eat burritos and follow the story. And his wife had seen the whole thing, and she was traumatized. And,
wow.
Quite a day. But what is it? Does it make an impression on our brain, these moments?
Yeah, they do.
Because think of how much shit we forget.
And then you think about it. They're both connected by air.
What do you mean?
They're both aerial tragedies.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow, look at that.
Look at us.
Put your tinfoil hat on.
Look at me connecting the dots. There's people already claiming that it's not real or it's an Illuminati sacrifice, and
yeah, I don't.
I'm like, come on, dude, just let it go.
Yeah,
not everything's a conspiracy. Not everything.
Well, why would you take Kobe Bryant out of all people? What is that all about?
Yeah, they were like, because LeBron just passed his record the day before.
Oh, I see. Yeah, right. Well, that's
the theory. I mean, it's a horrible theory. It's a horrible way
people
to think.
Are fucking crazy,
when
right?
Something like that happens. Like, give it a second, would you?
Yeah.
9/11, I sort of understand some of the theories. I'm like, yeah, I get it.
But
like Building 7, I'm like, I get it. I get where you're going with this.
The
moon landings, I get where you're going with this. These are worthwhile conspiracies.
But here's what it's
but
like
not a basketball player.
Nobody puts the experiment out like, okay, look, you want to try to prove any of these things? I want you to come up with a crazy secret between you and 3 people and try to keep it for a year, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then you're not going to be able to, because the only way to keep a secret between 3 people is to kill 2 people, and then you keep it yourself. That's the only way.
Yeah, and even then it's
for
not
any
safe.
of these things, these broader conspiracies, I know we have to wrap up. I know you have to get going. But any of these theories, think of how many people would have to meet, like hourly, every week, and then go, okay, you control this, and we're going to build that. But when we're building it...
For the moon one, I've heard some pretty good theories that were almost convincing,
Oh, because they always have an element of truth. I have the Austin Powers or James Bond theory, right?
Right.
Of, the moment where the villain that has the table and the table opens up and then the big plastic thing comes up of the city and goes, this is what we're going to do, and the bomb will come across.
Right.
There's that demonstration of their scheme, right? I always like to think about, well, let's talk about the contractor who built that, right?
Yeah.
How much work went into building that table and getting it exactly right? And I don't know, that building's not painted right, and this finish isn't right. These things can't happen. The Shark Tank in Austin Powers that pulls out, right? You'd have to have a contractor, and you have to have a bunch of guys, and the city would have to weigh in on it, right?
Some guy was like, hey, I need more money right now for the building.
Right. You're hiring people at Home Depot.
Yeah.
None of it could work, and that's why none of the conspiracies could work.
The moon one I heard was that that the people in the room were not in on it. They didn't know that they were being duped.
Oh, of course.
They didn't know they were being duped.
Yep. Right.
They were using Stanley Kubrick's
that's right. Well, read The Irishman, and you'll see that eventually all secrets come out. Anyway, so nice to have you here. I wish we could spend more time together.
I wish we could, Spike. You're
Russell
one of the ones
Peters,
I wanted to do today.
Russell Peters has a new special called Deported. It's awesome. He traveled all the way to Bombay, India, and
it's on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. It's a fantastic audience, by the way. Those people love you over there.
They're wonderful to me.
They look like there were a bunch of Americans, though, that had followed you over there too.
No. They're very modern in India. I think people have this very weird misconception.
Maybe
about what
I
India
have a
looks
weird
like.
misconception.
That area, the drone shot at the beginning of the special, that's Bombay you're looking at.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I really appreciated that you worked the audience in the beginning.
Always. That's my thing.
It
drives a lot of comics nuts. A lot of comic friends of mine. Dude, could you not talk to the fucking audience tonight? I go, that's just how I write. That's how I come up with things. I'm not smart enough to sit in front of a computer and do this.
And you connected the 2 people you spoke to.
I like to do that.
It was really great.
I like to weave them all together.
How many times did you shoot it and cut it together?
Two shows.
That's it?
But we only used one show.
Wow. So that's the whole take of one show.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, dude. It's
Well,
awesome.
thank you, Spike.
It's super funny. People call you the most famous comedian that nobody knows,
It's
right?
true.
But everybody I told that you were coming on the show knew exactly who you were.
Yeah.
I
They
think
won't
it's
have me
time.
on their shows, but they know who I am.
I think you finally moved past that.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's all the time we have, ladies and gentlemen. Spike's Car Radio. Watch Russell Peters Deported on Amazon Prime. It's awesome. Anything else you want to promote?
No, I'm good, buddy. I'm happy to see you.
Okay, don't buy a Breitling.
Don't buy a Breitling.
Breitling, you know I love you.
Your beautiful
get
watches, I don't need it.
We'll see you next week on Spike's Car Radio.
Thanks for listening to Spike's Car Radio. Download new episodes every Wednesday on the Podcast One app or subscribe now at Apple Podcasts or PodcastOne.com.
Podcast One has some exciting news. It's official. Our shows are now available on Spotify, and it's free. We want to make it super easy for you and your friends to listen to our podcasts, and joining Spotify allows us to be in even more places for fans to find us. If you're already listening to music on Spotify, you can now listen to our podcasts in the same place. If you're not on Spotify yet, all you have to do is download the free app. That's right, no credit card necessary, and simply search for our shows to start listening.
You've worked hard for what you have. Your money, your assets, your 401k, and home. Isn't it all worth protecting? Nearly 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity theft. LifeLock Ultimate Plus helps protect your finances with up to $3 million in reimbursement. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you might miss. And if your identity is stolen, your dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. Let LifeLock help protect what you've worked so hard for. Save 25% off your first year on LifeLock Ultimate Plus at LifeLock.com/aware. Terms apply.